lost in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appear. Rejoice, rejoice, O Israel, to you shall come Emmanuel.
Hello, great to see you again. Good to have you here. I've been thinking a lot about waiting. I'm useless at waiting, don't know about you. If you put me in a bus stop, I'm like a cat on hot bricks because I can't wait for the bus to come. And if it's not there in about 3 seconds, I'm generally checking the timetable. Not much better at a railway station. If they tell me the train's going to be 3 minutes late, I get stupidly worked up about that because, well, the train shouldn't be 3 minutes late. But what exactly was I going to do in those 3 minutes, eh? Perhaps like you've been using mail order delivery for things, and generally if I put an order in, I'm terrible. The moment I press the click button and send the order off, I think it should really be on my doorstep in about 20 minutes maximum. Waiting 1 day or 2 days or 3 days or 4 days for something is not something I'm really that great at, not something I'm really that good at. That's all fairly ironic, isn't it? Because in the last few weeks, we've heard the tremendous news that the vaccines that scientists have been working on around the world are extraordinarily, and it's been an amazing effort, ready to roll out. And that's extraordinary news. That's fantastic and wonderful news. But the thing about it now is we have to wait for that to happen. So once again, and perhaps you feel that since March, you've been in some kind of waiting game. Once again, we're waiting for those things to happen. What I want to say today is that I think times of waiting can be brilliant times for us to grow as people. They're actually some of the most profound times in our lives when we wait for something to happen. When I turn, I've got a Bible over here, which I'll just go and grab. When I look into the Bible, one of the Psalms, the 27th Psalm, one of these really ancient poems of praise, finishes with these words. It says, "Wait for the Lord, be strong and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord." I think with a really good attitude, we can make this time of waiting, as we wait for our world to begin to reassemble itself and be a place where people can thrive more than we've been able to in the last 6 or 7 months. We can take this time and make it a really fruitful time. As we're waiting for things to happen, I wonder what good things we could plan. I wonder what good things actually that, with some time of reflection, that we could actually do now. And I wonder if we could use the time to continue to take stock of where we are as people, where we are as human beings, actually where we are as a society, and not let some of the amazing reflections that have taken place over the last 6 or 7 months simply drift away. I wonder how we could use this time of waiting so that something good continues to grow and bear fruit in our lives.
Captivum soli Israel, qui gemet in exilio, privatus Dei filio. Emmanuel.
In the church which I belong, the 4 Sundays before Christmas are celebrated as a particular time in the church. That season's called Advent, and it often gets lost, to be honest, in the rush and the push towards Christmas, not just in the world, but in our church sometimes as well. Advent is a time where we're invited to look forward, where we're invited to look with hope towards the future which the God who loves us has planned for our world and has planned for you and for me. And as we do that, what we most often do in the church, and particularly on the first Sunday in Advent, is that we light a single candle in the church, like this. At the moment, it's about 10 to 10, 5 to 10 in the morning. It's a Thursday morning as I'm doing this. Most effective time to light that is actually late afternoon. And what happens is as the light fades from the sky and around, slowly the light of the candle begins to come into its own. And you see this single flickering candle flame as the dark falls around. It's an amazing symbol of hope, a candle. It seems so small, so fragile, and yet it flickers. And that's the hope that we're invited to enter into by God as we wait for God's kingdom, God's way of doing things, in which there's love and joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and faithfulness and gentleness, as God begins to bring his kingdom in through his son Jesus. I pray that you will be blessed with that hope. I pray that your families and your friends will be blessed with that hope. I pray that your loved ones will be blessed with that hope. And I pray that this week, now and always, the blessing of God would surround you. Amen.